Hello. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, how are you?
There y'all are. Okay. All right. So Winnie the Pooh, huh?
Yep.
What was it that made you decide to focus on Winnie the Pooh?
So, me and Scott are massive horror fans, and um, we we love trying to just come up with stuff which is like crazy and just really out there. I when I first started directing and getting into it, I kind of went down like an even more like crazy route. I did like a Killer Christmas Tree movie, and this became in the public domain. I was like, okay, I think that'd be really fun. So we just kind of went for it, and then it absolutely blew up about 3 or 4 months later after filming. Like we initially didn't know the sort of scale and scope it was going to. We thought it was going to be mostly for a kind of small VOD market, and then the next thing is getting shown theatrically worldwide.
Right, right. Okay, so the sequel's coming up this month, actually. Are you excited?
Yeah, definitely. It's releasing on the 26th, and what we're really excited for with this one is we have more of an appreciation and we have more knowledge about what sort of scale it's going to, relative to the first one. So we've spent more time in being able to kind of like cultivate the story. I got a writer called Matt Leslie on board. He wrote Summer of '84. So me and him worked on the story for a long time, because we wanted to make sure that was there. We got a lot of good performances in this, because we've got actors like Simon Callow, Scott, Alec Newman, Peter D'Souza Honey, like involved, and they're all very very experienced. They've all done absolutely amazing in the film. So, and everyone we've shown it to so far, who's seen it, has been really really surprised at how transformative it's been relative to the first film, and the sort of how much higher of a production it feels, and we think it's going to surprise a lot of people when it comes out. So yeah, very positive for us.
And I actually noticed that about the trailer that it looked like it had, taken a big leap forward as for quality. And, I love that we're getting new characters too. So, that's going to mean quicker. But what was the reasoning behind the change in the lead role, Christopher?
So, in the follow up, the sequel, you do actually find out that the first film, is in a sense non-canon. It's now become a film within a film. So, a little bit like in the Scream series, Stabbed is within that universe, but we've actually taken the whole first film and made it in that universe, and it's renamed in that universe called Honey and Blood. So all of the characters in there, such as Christopher Robin, and all of Alice, Zoe, and such, they now kind of exist in that world as actors within it. So it wouldn't have made sense to have kind of the same actor playing both roles. So we thought, okay, like that needs to change. All of the actors need to change for that reason. And then the next step was thinking, okay, who can we want to make sure the performances are really, really good. And Scott has done very, very well in everything he's acted in before. So I was like, okay, I want him to do Christopher Robin. He was a bit hesitant at the start, but then I think he saw the story, he saw like other people getting involved, as in like Simon Callow and such, and then I think he was getting more excited for it.
Right. So what's it like to take it over, Scott?
Incredibly intimidating just because I've said it a few times, but I feel like when you normally go into a project, people aren't there's not this like hate out there when you go into something. Like I've not experienced it like this. And obviously with having produced the first film with Reese and having seen firsthand like the death threats he got and the hate stuff and just the really nasty, horrible messages. I was really intimidated going into it as an actor, just because obviously like up until this point my CV is quite classy. And then Reese was like, "Do you want to play Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2?" And I was like, uh, okay. But yeah, like with Reese, the reason that I did it, Reese has remembered it wrong. Like I didn't do it because of Simon Callow and stuff. They were people that I had as ideas for casting, but I actually did it because of Reese. I really, really believe in him, and I really mean that. Like The first film is what it is. It was made on £20,000 in 6 days. And you've got to kind of, to a degree, just respect that. They're normally like found footage films aren't made on that level. So he did his best, and I really believe in him and his hard work and all that kind of stuff. And I was just thinking, also me doing it is a saving because I won't charge the production. So I was like, whatever, I'm on set every day as a producer, I might as well play the role. So yeah, I did it. I got to work with amazing people. I loved all my cast members. We had the best time, and then the crew I'd worked with. I've done over 100 features, mostly with the same crew, as a producer. So I felt like good around them. I felt in a safe space, and yeah, hopefully hopefully people enjoy it. But I've got a good feeling.
Awesome, awesome. Now, tell me, what can fans expect this go round?
So in this sequel compared to the first film, the story is massively improved from the first version. Like we're saying, I worked with Matt Leslie for a while. We took a lot of fan feedback. We made sure it's a kind of like tight 90-minute film. There's a lot more of expansion and like the backstory and the lore of the creatures. The creatures have all been completely redesigned. So we got in the prosthetic studio to kind of redesign all of them. So that includes Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Owl. So obviously there's some new friends who have joined the group compared to the first film. Prosthetic Studio have worked on big stuff like Voldemort, Captain America, and they've done absolutely excellent in the creatures. You can see from the trailer how much better they look, and the gore. Like they were in charge of doing a lot of the gore and the effects in the movie, and we try to do as practical effects as much as we can. And they're excellent. The death scenes in the movie are absolutely crazy. Obviously, like we're big horror fans. We know horror fans love death scenes, and trying to do inventive ones. And for us, when you get to the end of the movie, like there's about 10 minutes of just non-stop death. Like Tigger and Pooh are just massacring so many people, and it's super fun. We watched it at the world premiere the other day, and the audience reaction was amazing. Everyone was like laughing, like loving it, and like cheering and whooping when everything was happening. So that's why we think a lot of people are going to like this. And there's a lot of Easter eggs and links as well, finally, which will kind of allude to what's going to happen in the future films, and some of the ones kind of joining within our universe.
Yeah, and I noticed that y'all both have more kind of horror parodies coming up too. So I know there's Bambi, and there's one based on Peter Pan. And
Hmm.
so is this something that y'all will see continue in the future to,
Yeah,
put out
yeah,
these
for sure.
movies that kind of ruin your childhood?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I feel like because I'm directing Peter Pan, and I felt like that was the easiest one out of the lot. It's like a guy creeps into children's bedrooms and says, "Come with me to Neverland." It's absolutely freaky as hell. So it's kind of like my worst nightmare when I was a kid. Like some guy standing over my bed when I'm sleeping. So yeah, you can expect Peter Pan to be doing that and promising Neverland to these children. You've got Tinkerbell who takes heroin. She thinks it's pixie dust. So it's some crazy, wacky ideas. But they're going to have tonally a different approach because when we've got some directors that we truly believe in, like Dan Allen, who's directing Bambi, he wrapped that in January, and we're letting people play to their strengths. So the films will tonally feel different. Like when I was developing Peter Pan, it didn't make sense to go down like the more classic slasher B movie route that Winnie the Pooh's taken. It didn't make any sense for that because it's so twisted. It's to do with children and an older guy. Do you know what I mean? It didn't make any sense. So I feel like I got really inspired by French cinema. Like I love a film called Switchblade Romance, and I love Blumhouse's Black Phone. So I got inspired by those. But going forward, we've got Pinocchio, which we're going to be inspired more by Child's Play and having more fun with that. And then we've got a universe we're creating now, and all these will start to connect and cross over. And we want to create something different that we haven't seen in the horror world. Like I've never seen a film like Avengers, but in with horror characters, and it's been my dream to see like I don't know, Scream, Freddy, Jason, all of them crossing over. And obviously, we're able to bring that to this. Like with Winnie the Pooh 2, what you can expect is each one of those characters. Tigger is our version of Freddy Krueger. Piglet is our version of Leatherface. All this kind of stuff. So we're trying to bring back these characters that you've not seen for a while. reimagine them in these kind of settings, and soon they're going to be going head to head in one climactic film.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I can get behind that.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. So, when can we see the next film roll out?
So at the moment, the release date is on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. That's across all of the US in 1,500 cinemas. Fathom Events are doing that. All other kind of English-speaking territories like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they seem to be kind of aiming for the same date as well. Then everywhere else which requires dubbing, so all the foreign territories like Mexico, Netherlands, Belgium, and such, they're likely going to be about mid-April because they need just time to redub the voices and such.
Right, right. Well, that's awesome. I love it. And I love that idea of, a broader universe where, it's limitless how many, films and characters can cross in their world. That I love that. I love it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love
So,
like
Oh, yeah. You're
Freddy
gonna love it
versus
because we're gonna have it's gonna be like Freddy vs. Jason. We're gonna have Mad Hatter, Pinocchio. We're gonna have Winnie, Rabbit, Tigger, Piglet, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell. There's gonna be all these characters, and I've got in my head a scene where we close off a road and they're just in a line, just walking forward, and they're ready to just take on the
a
city.
bit like a Wolverine. But
Yeah.
with that announcement, we won't be able to. That will be coming out on Monday via Variety. So if you can, just hold back from saying anything about this kind of joined film Scott's talking about until then.
I got you.
Thanks.
I got you. That's good. Well, I thank you guys. I think our time is up. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see the sequel and
Oh,
see Pinocchio get crazy and everything else. And I love what you're doing. I love that you're taking those childhood things and twisting them into something dark. Because if you're a hardcore horror fan, you just love that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do,
thanks so
so.
much. Thank you.
So, but I look forward to seeing it, and y'all have a great day.